Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Around the Town with Chuck. My name is Chuck Guglielmo, where we have a weekly interview show where we talk with interesting people in the community. And today we have Conneaut High School student Abbie Webster with us. Abbie, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Abbie Webster, of course, is a junior at Conneaut High School and recently was named Ashtabula County Tennis Player of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you get the news?
The Star Beacon called me and told me that they wanted to interview me, and I said, I was confused. I said, why? And said, well, you haven't been told yet? And I was like, what? And they go, well, you're the Player of the Year for Ashtabula County, so.
That is outstanding,
Yeah.
and you, like I say, are a junior, and tennis, you almost didn't go out for tennis. Did I read that right in the paper? You were thinking
Yeah.
about track?
Yeah.
Tell us the story there.
In middle school, I wanted to play track, but I forgot my papers to join, so I didn't have any other choice but play tennis if I wanted to play a sport. So I just thought, what the heck, and just went with it.
I don't know much about tennis, so I'm going to try to see what I could do here.
Yeah.
You fill me in if I make any errors, because tennis is not one of the three sports that I cover. But you had said in an interview with the Star Beacon that tennis was a time for studying an opponent, looking for weaknesses. So when you're looking at your opponent, what are some of the weaknesses you're looking at?
If they're not good at their backhand, that means that I will continuously just hit it to their backhand, because then obviously you'll get the points with that. If they're not good at their serve, they are better at the ad side serving and not the other one. It's just a bunch of different techniques that you can use for tennis, and I think that's probably my favorite part of the sport is the strategy and the different things that you can do with it.
And tennis season for girls is in the fall.
Yeah.
That runs September and October?
Yep.
You also had said that when it comes to studying an opponent, then you find their weaknesses and thinking about a game plan. So what game plan do you put together?
Sort of like what I said. You start warming up with them, and if they only if they hit short shots continuously, then you'll know that you can move up to the net a lot with the shots. So warm up is a big part of my game, because that way I can see what they're good and what they're not good at. And so then I'll use that during the match.
Take me through a warm-up. What's all involved in a warm-up, and how long do you usually warm up before your match?
There's different ways to do it. Some girls like to go up to the front boxes first and just hit normally, and then start backing up, and then you'll hit from the back line and just forehand, backhand, whatever. You could go up there and ask your opponent for net shots so that you can practice those. You can ask for an overhead so that you can practice that, and then you'll also take time and warm up with your serve.
Your coach's name is Doug Hedrick,
Yep.
also on City Council. Talk a little bit about, now you've had him all through high school as a coach?
No.
You did not, you had who before? Middle school, you had a different coach?
Yeah, middle school I had a different coach. Middle school I had Mary Holtzen and Mr. Rhodes, and then
That's Zach Rhodes?
Yep, Zach Rhodes. And then freshman year I had Adam Lytle. And
Everybody loves Adam Lytle.
yeah. And then sophomore year I had John Casito.
Oh, so you've had multiple coaches.
Yeah.
If you would, Abbie, talk a little bit about them in a sentence or two about what you thought of each coach and how they helped you through your tennis career.
Adam definitely pushed us as a team, made us do not a lot, but a normal amount of conditioning. So it helped us all get better in that way. John, he was very supportive with the team. If someone was getting down on themselves during a match, he would definitely help throughout that, be there for that. And Hedrick is really good with drills. So throughout practices, he'll just put a bunch of drills on us, and then everyone can, if he wants us to do, one of the drills is like, we'll just hit forehands, and he'll tell you right or left so that you can practice, directions for what way you hit. And then we'll do that with the backhand too. Just a bunch of different drills, which really helps the team.
Of course, you play a lot of your home tennis matches at the Liberty Street tennis courts.
Yep.
Hopefully, the new tennis courts will be coming at the stadium there at the complex. And wouldn't that be nice for your senior year to play at the new court?
That would be great. Yeah, that would be an improvement.
It says you had a 12-7 record this year. And that was, how did that record compare to previous years?
Well, sophomore year, I also played first singles. So I'm pretty sure sophomore year, it was like I won 7 matches and lost 12. So it sort of like switched this year and like showed improvement. And then freshman year, I played third singles and second singles. So it was totally different. I'm pretty sure my record was 12-6 for that.
So great records, having double digits in wins those years. Abbie Webster, my guest, she is the Ashtabula County Tennis Player of the Year. Abbie, also you advanced Division III sectional semifinal match. Tell us a little bit about that and who your opponent was and how that went.
For the semifinals, the opponent? My opponent was Blessing. And I forget where she goes to, but she's a really good player, right? I think she's been making it to states lately. I mean, so it was an experience to play her. Obviously, going into it, you know when you can lose and when you can win. And this one, I knew she'll probably win. So I took it as an experience thing, and I wanted to learn from it. And I definitely did. It definitely helped me, especially after the Ashtabula County tournament. After winning that, it helped show me that you're not the best player out there, so you can definitely get better. Definitely made me want to work harder and be like that, strive to be that good.
Who were some of your opponents? You said earlier you looked at your opponents to see what weaknesses you could pick up on them before you went into the match. Who were some opponents that you looked at and maybe found something that they do that maybe you can implement in your tennis abilities?
Some people are McDowell. They are really good at just placing the ball. Wherever they want it, they can hit line shots there's no tomorrow. And it's really something I strive to get good at.
As we said, tennis was not your first choice in sports. That's true. We've accomplished that. And you didn't start taking tennis seriously until Conneaut High School, even though you played in the middle school. When we say taking tennis seriously, tell us what that means to you.
Well, I mean, tennis was just a pastime for me. It was just something to condition myself at and look forward to at the end of the day. So I mean sophomore year is really when I started getting into it. And by that I mean going to tournaments, playing a bunch of different people in Erie and Ashtabula County too, obviously. Just having private lessons too. I mean, it's all just the way you can get better at tennis is just playing all the time, nonstop.
Your family had to be very proud of you being named Ashtabula County Tennis Player of the Year. That had to be real exciting to get that news as well. Your coach, Doug Hedrick, said you were a student of the game of tennis. What does that mean?
I think that's the whole part that I was talking about too, with just looking for people's weaknesses and their strengths. And it's just sort of studying people and using strategy when you're in the middle of the game. it's hard to think about that when you're hitting with someone. What should I do next? But over the years, I've definitely, like I said, probably sophomore year, I started to get into it to where I started thinking about where I wanted to place the ball. Started thinking about like what I wanted to do with it. And so, I mean, it's just student of the game is like having a point and knowing what you want to do with it and going into it with a plan.
Tennis, of course, is ranked right up there with swimming as the top 2 sports for great exercise. And what are some of the techniques, Abbie, you have to become a good tennis player?
Oh gosh, your footing has to be like, you have to have good balance. Because if you don't have good balance, the whole swing is thrown off, everything. I mean, it was difficult to start out with, but it started getting better, yeah.
How mentally prepared do you need to be before a match? Tennis, not only is it physical, but a lot of stress can be put on you mentally.
Yeah.
How well do you have to be prepared? Like, say you have a match on a Wednesday. Are you preparing for that match days in advance or right after the game that you had before the next game?
Yeah, probably like right after your next game, you start thinking about the next match. Take what you did in that match, say you lost in that match. Start thinking about the next match and what you could have done better with that. But yeah, mentally, it's, you're just playing one-on-one with no help from anyone. So it's like all up to you. And it's like a lot of obstacles,
I can imagine.
You like just get down on yourself when you're losing. This year has probably been the best year for me mentally because I've been a lot better about that.
Do you spend a lot of time studying more so than actually playing your match?
I mean, yeah, I study, like, definitely. Like, by studying, meaning, like, watching the opponent.
Or preparing for them?
Preparing for it. It's definitely, you do have to prepare before a match. Like, just get in that mindset that no matter what, I'm gonna, like, do my best, and I'm gonna make this fun. You have to think, like, it's a fun match. So, yeah, studying is definitely probably one of the biggest parts of tennis. Especially, like, it even comes in, like, while you're playing, like, with the studying part, like, just knowing where you're gonna hit the ball, like, that's something that you have to think about.
I want to go back to how you look at your opponent's weaknesses. How do you go about, when you look at those weaknesses, exploiting them?
Yeah, if you just, when you're warming up and you see, like I said, she's not good at her backhand, right? You just want to continuously hit it to her backhand in the match. Because if she's not good at it, then you're obviously going to get the point from that. So,
Just a great award being the Ashtabula County Tennis Player of the Year, Abbie Webster. But it's also, here's something else, 3rd year in a row being named to the All-Ashtabula County team.
yeah.
Has that ever been done in Conneaut?
I don't know.
Find that out for me. I know Adam Leighton was the Tennis Player of the Year for the boys last year.
I don't know if any other girls have been named the Player of the Year for that. I know girls have been part of the teams, but yeah, last year I was so happy to be part of like the first team with that.
I can imagine 3 years in a row, and as a freshman, you made the 2nd team.
Yeah, that was.
So constant improvement.
Yeah, that's all I look for. That's
all
all
because
my
of your
goals.
preparation and your studying of the game
Yeah.
of tennis. Now, you singles?
Yep.
Okay, what's the difference? Tell me a little bit about what singles is. You're going up just against one other person, right?
Yeah, it's just 1v1, and it's the whole court, like, right? So obviously there's a line and like there's the doubles courts, but with the singles courts, that's still a lot of running room to a person. Like there's a ton of running that you have to do. It's difficult, right? But doubles is difficult in the sense that you have to trust your partner, and you have to communicate well with your partner, and that's why I'm not a doubles player, because not very great at that. But
so all your matches were singles
yeah,
throughout your high school career. You've
Yeah.
never were on doubles.
no,
Okay. Do you ever play tennis during the off season?
yeah, all the time.
Does that help? Obviously, it's got to help. It does in all sports.
100%.
And do you play with somebody that you know, or you try to go up against people you don't know?
Yeah, I do both. Play with someone I know. I play with my dad all the time. He's definitely a good opponent, like, for that.
Does your mom play tennis?
No. No.
You try to get her involved in tennis.
Yeah, a little bit. It didn't really work out.
One final thing, Abbie, it's not all about tennis with you. You are a 4.0, you have a 4.0 grade point average.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
I
Has that been through high school or just as a junior?
It's through middle school.
Through middle school?
Yeah.
Wow. How about when you were at the elementary level?
I don't remember that, but hopefully.
Probably 3.9.
3.9, yeah.
Do you have any plans for college?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what program I want to go into, but I know that I want to play tennis in college, definitely.
Well, this has been fun, Abbie, and again, congratulations on being Asheville County Player of the Year.
Thank you.
And do some research on that for me and find
I'll
out
try
if
to.
3 times, if any girls player or boys player for that matter has been on the all-county team.
All right.
Abbie Webster, congratulations again, my guest today on Around the Town with Chuck.